Well, howdy doody, everybody. We are
Good morning,
back.
2026.
Yeah. Here we are. We hope everyone had a good holiday time, however, vacation, whatever it was you did, whether you worked, you got to chill. Hope it was a great one. We're going to do some catching up. So y'all go ahead, sit back, or actually go fill your cup, then come back, sit back, and enjoy the show. What's crack-a-lacking, people?
Good morning, gentlemen. It is 2026, and I've got some good coffee in my cup. What are you drinking, Pedro?
Honestly, I don't know.
No,
I'm not sure at this point.
Moving on, John. What are you drinking? Justin, what are you drinking?
I'm a homebrew Starbucks guy. I got my custom back the truck up mug that my mom made me back when I was working at FreightWaves.
There you go. Now I've got good old fashioned Coca-Cola in my new Star Wars thermal mug.
Justin needs to upgrade his coffee from Starbucks to Road Dog Coffee.
I can go in any store anywhere and buy it. So
yeah,
it's the Bud Light of coffee.
That is true.
Not as cheap as Bud Light though, unfortunately.
No.
Adam Spencer. The real Mr. Spencer. What are you drinking?
This morning I'm drinking. Actually, I don't know. It's something my wife bought, but it's not Starbucks, and it's not Coke in a nerd glass.
Oh, dude, you know you love my nerd glass.
Actually, I will admit that I am a bit of a Star Wars fan, but J-Mart, you could do better. That Postal Service coffee, come on.
We had like Folgers at the Postal Service. Somebody would just show up with like a tin, put it on a table, and say, "Put $1 in there if you want this coffee," and nobody paid. So there was never any paid.
Oh Lord, What's up, boys?
Man, we're just back.
Yeah, a nice little 2-week hiatus. Everybody have a good holiday?
Yeah, not too bad.
No.
When you have kids, Santa's awesome. So.
We all
let's start with Justin. Justin's the only one that said no. So please inform us, dude.
Things were great right to Christmas Day. The day after Christmas Day, my wife got the flu. And then 3 days later, I got the flu. And then another day later, my son got the flu. So it was just like one after the other. And then just down the street from us, her brother, his whole family got the flu. So it's just going through all of New Jersey right now, rampant.
There was a report on the news yesterday, and they were talking about the flu is up 20. It's like I think it was 25% increase in flu cases, more than it's ever been in over 25 years or something like that.
My sister
It's supposed to be a particularly rough strain. I mean, I know our good friend Jeff Dickinson, he and his wife got it, and his wife actually spent Christmas in the hospital.
So you mean to tell me when you don't change the name of it, it's called the flu?
Yeah.
Well, this particular strain, it's influenza A. My sister works at a hospital.
A sucks.
Yeah. So it's
is the worst one. In my opinion, of all the years of living and working in EMS, A sucks because A just takes you down, dude. It gives you those bone-chilling aches.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I had A was 2016 or 17, and I binge-watched 8 seasons of... oh, God, I'm trying to blank. What's the show that was on HBO that everybody loved?
The Wire?
Sopranos?
No. Game of Thrones. I binge-watched 8
okay.
seasons of Game of Thrones like that. Just boom. I was so sick. Never left the couch.
Oh no! I'm traveling next week, so I got a feeling I'm going to be wearing a mask.
You going back to the villages?
And I'm playing. No, I'm actually on my way to Phoenix, Arizona. I have a new gig.
What?
I have shed the coil of contract dispatching, and
Tell me you're going to work
now.
for Swift.
I have embraced my future as a fraud prevention consultant, and I'm going to work for an undisclosed freight broker operating out of Tempe, Arizona.
That's awesome. That's actually something I'm trying.
3-month contract. I got a 3-month contract with them right now.
Oh yeah, congrats.
Impressive.
Let's go, John.
Way to go, buddy.
Heck yeah, brother. Congratulations.
Oh,
man.
I'm loving this. I am loving this. It's an opportunity that wound up coming to me through a good friend of ours, Dale Prax, and
Dale's a good dude.
Things just started. Dominoes started falling right into place, and now I'm able to embrace what has become my life's goal: fighting fraud.
So what exactly will you be doing, like, for the people listening in that may not understand, like, what that entails? Like, kind of give them insight.
Primarily, my job is to go in and take a look at their current systems and processes and determine where their weaknesses are when it comes to dealing with fraud in the transportation industry. I'm probing their systems. I'm attacking them with known scams remotely. I have a series of carriers who are working with me to do these kinds of things. We do disclose the MC numbers that we're using to do these attacks, to try to book freight fraudulently and stuff like that. And those are known to only the C-suite personnel, so that we can keep these carriers from getting freight guards and stuff like that. But we're probing the systems, and once we finish probing the systems, we figure out where the weaknesses are. Then I propose new procedures, changes to their system, etc., that can help shore them up.
Please tell me you have the DAT scam. You send them a link and they give you their login info. Please tell me.
No, I don't have anything that sophisticated. I'm trying to find a tech guy who can set that up for me, though. I want to get somebody to set up a phishing attack that I can utilize with that kind of thing. So yes, that is on the schedule.
If that was my job, I would love to start that off by screwing with their entire dispatch team by posting 10,000 power only loads at $9 a mile, lighting their phones up.
Are you guys familiar? There's this guy on YouTube who's been around forever. It's called Kit Boda, and he just is an absolute terror for Indian overseas scam artists. And he sets up fake like CAPTCHAs for guys. So there was a case where a woman her mom had like her identity stolen and a bunch of money lost and everything, and they wanted to find like an actual photo of the guy doing it because he was using like an AI generated video of some like soap opera actor. So they set up this Bitcoin wallet with the money in it that this guy had to like click a link and complete a bunch of CAPTCHAs to get access to it. And one of them was you got to turn your camera on, take a selfie with your like government ID. And so they set this whole thing up to like prove who this guy really was. And if you could like figure out some way of, I don't know, making a freight broker like give a peace sign or something, just to show like what an idiot they are for clicking a link, that would be great.
You've got to put me in touch with this guy. I would love to sit there and have fun with that. I'll even post videos of that one.
Yeah, there's freight. I don't know. People like fraud is like in the big, like it's all over the zeitgeist right now. And I think, you know, I love this quote, you know, the greatest trick the supply chain ever did was like convincing people it doesn't exist. And I don't think the American public at large realizes just how like everyone's losing their mind over like daycares right now, which is great. Love that that's like out in the public right now. But I think if people really understood just how much fraud is out there every single day, people would just lose their goddamn minds.
Well,
all they have to do is look at their wallet. They get roughly 20 cents of every dollar they spend. 20 cents of every dollar they spend at Walmart or someplace like that is going to Walmart recouping what they've lost
Yeah.
You know, Amazon's the same way. You know, 20 cents of every dollar you spend is going to deal with freight fraud. And if people really understood that, there would be a far greater outcry about the situation.
But we all know that if it wasn't fraud, they'd still be taking that 20 cents in as profit.
Well, now they will, because everyone's putting up with it.
Well, the difference between saying like, oh, 20 cents, like that's an abstraction. 20 cents every dollar. Like everyone just sees it as like, oh, that's just the cost of doing business. But when you can put an address, like 123 Main Street has taken $7 million over the last 5 years. That's what's really like getting people up in arms right now.
Yeah,
When
you got to intensify that amount and make it turn into a really big number.
Yeah, if you could say like this double broker based out of Serbia, wherever, has siphoned off $9 million worth of loads over the last 6 years. That's a better sell than an abstraction of 20 cents on the dollar.
It's difficult to do that. You can calculate the economic impact to the American consumer and in a number as I had. But what you can't do is you can't really sit there and say, oh, well, we've experienced X amount of financial loss due to double brokering. It's very difficult to do that because most double brokering is not reported. Yeah. Brokers do not want people to know that they've been double brokered. They don't want people to know that their cargo has gotten stolen. So I would dare say that what the amounts that you hear of stolen freight is probably only a third, maybe a third of what has actually been stolen because everyone's trying to hide what's going on.
A couple of points to that. Number one, do you know the number of smaller brokers that call me that tell me they don't care, they just need a truck?
A lot. And that is a huge part of the problem.
It is. They just say, they'll call me and say, oh, hey, I don't have an asset in the area. Dude, I don't care. I just need a truck. Okay, so you're cool with me brokering your load? Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Put it in writing. Put it in writing, and I'll agree with you. Jimmy!
Jimmy
the other part is I don't truly think Americans care enough. I mean, look at the Somali daycare fraud going on right now, right? And what occurred last night in Minneapolis. There are more people upset about that than the fact that all of their tax money that they are paying into the state of Minnesota is going to fraud. And they wouldn't have to pay taxes.
The difference with the case, like daycares especially, you talk to anyone with kids that's like 10 and under, that is like one of the most radicalizing situations ever because people realize how much they had to spend per month.
$1,400 a month for my child to go to daycare.
That's reasonable.
I thought it was pretty ingenious. The YouTuber that went around, I don't know if you guys saw him on the news, but he was a YouTuber, famous YouTuber that went around and was actually trying to interview. Like he
that's what started
himself as a father. I'm looking for daycare for my daughter or whatever. Then he started asking these questions.
Ryan,
exposing this.
Ryan, I'm trying to think. It's Ryan something, but that's what started. Like this was causing the explosion. But now they're finding like medical transportation companies. The number of fraudulent medical transportation companies. Like
trucking companies too.
These dudes are smart and they're getting help from the government to do it.
Watch how Danielle posts about this stuff because what she likes to do is every time somebody puts an address out there, like Somalian daycare, why would a daycare have 5 MCs registered to that address?
Shut up.
Oh yeah. We're finding them left and right.
It sounds like I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
it's like you've heard of Elf on the Shelf. You've heard of Elf on the Shelf. Well, how about Somali fraudulent truck driver at a daycare center?
Yeah, no. Any one of these like fraud situations that they're finding, whether it's a daycare, medical center, whatever, run the addresses through like search carriers or something, and it's just like list of MCs.
Shut the door.
They've diversified, man.
Yeah.
See, I love FreightX, and you get so many people on LinkedIn that shit on FreightX. Oh, it's just a bunch of angry people. I'm like, no, they actually post some good information.
Yeah.
And then you had that guy the other day that was like, oh, it's all racist. FreightX is racist. And I'm like, no.
It's just truth and unfiltered stuff, and that's how it should be. Let's give the people the truth.
What you would never see on LinkedIn is exactly what we had last night on this Twitter space. It was Danielle was hosting it, I was co-hosting, and then we had a bunch of other guys in there. 2 hours into the space, the guy Jorge Riviera, the DACA non-domiciled CDL driver who's like suing the federal government, he created a Twitter account and joined the space with us. You would never see something like that on LinkedIn. Fortunately, it was recorded. You guys can go back and listen to it. But we had this amazing 2 hour plus back and forth with Jorge, and it's really unfortunate because where he's coming at on this is like he's like, I'm DACA. I've been here since I was a baby. I had no say in the matter. I went to the government 15 years ago, got a CDL. I played by the rules, and now they're saying I'm illegal. And we're like, totally get that, but you got to understand the amount of fraud out there with these CDLs versus how many DACA guys that are being caught in the crossfire. It's a complete mismatch. I think DACA needs to be its own set until they get this whole immigration situation fixed with DACA. Everybody that's here on DACA that has a CDL needs to be just either a regular CDL or a DACA CDL. Having these guys classified as non-domiciled makes absolutely no sense. They are domiciled here in the U.S., so why would they have a non-domiciled CDL?
Yeah, explain to me why they're trying to say they're non-domiciled. Because to me, if I understand it correctly, a non-domiciled CDL is a guy who lives in Colorado but has a California CDL, correct?
Yeah. So my first driver's license, my first CDL was a non-domiciled CDL. I was at Schneider, living in Indiana. They sent me to Wisconsin for training. We were staying at a hotel in Wisconsin, so the address on my CDL was the hotel we were staying at, and it said non-domicile. And so Schneider said, congrats, you got your CDL, you're going home for a week, catch a break. While you're at home, transfer that license to your home state and then come back. That was what the original purpose for a non-domicile CDL was. It's just this is a CDL for a driver who doesn't live in this state.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Why didn't Jorge get a CDL in his state where he lives? That's
because DACA is like a they're like a special situation. Like they're not permanent. He doesn't have a green card. They're not permanent residents. So a regular CDL, and depending on what state he lives in, they just won't issue one. Like Shannon Everett from ATU was in the space, and Shannon was like, "Okay, I understand that you live in Utah. Utah issues non-domiciled CDLs. Arkansas doesn't. So why can't you come to Arkansas and get a CDL?" And he was like, "I can't." So it's all state and case specific, and it's just a mess.
Maybe
I feel real bad for these guys because they did everything right, and they're just kind of collateral damage caught in this crossfire.
See, that's where Duffy and Derek Bars need to get involved.
Well, you think about the CDLs; they're federally mandated, right? So you fall under federal rules with the FMCSA and all that. Why not pull the CDLs away from the states and make them federal, like a
I'm not against
federal
that.
ID or something.
Personally, I think to obtain a CDL, you should have to have the criminal background check and a TWIC card. Like, if you can obtain a TWIC card, then you can get a CDL.
I've been saying TWIC card. I said it as a joke. I said every driver, every freight broker, every dock worker, anyone in the U.S. supply chain needs a TWIC card.
I said the exact same thing to Derek Bars when he was at Dale's freight fraud thing. Sorry.
That was for the freight fraud task force.
I'm sorry. Well, you know what? You missed your chance to arrest me, sir. I'm just saying.
I mean,
Derek,
I hold my TWIC card, and it's not something that I even need. But as
he
a
actually
freight broker, and I deal with the ports. I mean, I have my TWIC card. If I ever need to go on the port, I can go on the port. But
I think
we
we
should
should
fly.
Admittedly, mine expired last year, and I've not renewed it yet. I need to renew it though.
They need to revoke his TWIC card for all that Georgia crap behind him. I'm just saying.
Right. what do you think about
that out, Adam?
So with all the CDL guys, all these illegals driving these CDLs that are losing their CDLs and being hopefully exported out of the country, there's another. A lot of them are just gonna, if they don't get shipped out, they'll just go into the cargo van, sprinter van business. I've always said
that's exactly what Jorge said last night. He's like,
I've always said this back when we had Allstate Express, because we primarily did expedited transportation, right? And and another buddy of mine who owns a large expedited company. I'm not going to divulge his name, but they're relatively large.
Are they based out of North Carolina?
No, Michigan. But he, he and we've talked about this thing for years. That okay, so you got DOT MC numbers that you have to display that on your truck to cross over state lines, right? Because you're in commerce. Why, if you're in the freight commerce business in a sprinter van, cargo van, why not treat those guys the same? Not saying they have to log, but do some kind of a mechanism to where they're treated kind of like a CDL driver, or
I personally think they need a log. I mean, it's just if you're gonna hold them to the standard, then they need to be held to the same standard as semis.
I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, if you're crossing state, if you're not a courier company within state lines, if you're crossing state lines,
look at the box truck community. I'll use the box truck and hot shot community as an example. Primarily non-CDL, but because they are over 10,000 pound gross vehicle weight, they are on logs. They do have many of the requirements and IFTA. They have many of the different. Well, depending on the state, but in many cases they are treated similarly to those with a CDL, which kind of matches kind of what you're talking. But they are not beholden to the drug clearinghouse. They're not beholden to some of the more stringent limits that CDL holders are supposed to adhere to. So I absolutely want to see sprinters on ELDs.
It needs to be one standard for all of them.
If you are
a commercial driver of any kind,
right?
Bingo, one standard.
If you're in commerce, you're crossing state lines, and you're not a courier company who's bound to just strictly the state you're in. You don't touch borders. You're in commerce. You're crossing state lines. You're on the hook.
It's insane the number of people that are getting into that space. I posted a load yesterday for a local run in New Jersey. I had over 100 phone calls. My phone literally melted down
because there's no barriers to entry.
There's no barriers to entry.
Even with the lower barriers to entry in trucking on the CDL side, like you have to have CDL, you got to pass drug test, and now with Duffy throwing all these new rules out there, all those guys, the bottom of the barrel, are getting flushed out and they're going into hotshot. And hotshot, I feel terrible. If you're like a really good hotshot guy and you've been in this for a couple of years, you are just hurting right now because this is exactly where all those guys are going.
Bad as sprinter vans. If I post a hotshot load, I get blown apart, and you start looking at carriers and you're just like, ugh. And it's somebody posted on LinkedIn a few weeks ago about a company called Logic Incorporated, and I had never heard of them to this point. They're a sprinter van company, and you start pulling back the layers of the onion, and they've got multiple shell companies. They're all owner operators. The insurance doesn't check out. Like,
right.
It's a nightmare waiting to happen for a freight broker that doesn't know any better.
Yeah. I need to get, I'm trying as hard as I can to get in touch with people in insurance because, Ryan Joyce at Genlogs was gracious enough to give me an account there. And he's like, I want you to just, do whatever investigation you want. And I was like, oh, nice. And I have just stacks of visually verifiable chameleon carriers. And when I look up their insurance info, I know who's covering them. And I have been sending emails, LinkedIn requests, like everything I can to say, hey, you have all these fraudsters in your network. You should probably cancel their policies. God forbid they get into a wreck. And it's just complete radio silence from the insurance companies.
They don't want to admit liability.
Which is insane to me because if some idiot like me with a laptop and 5 minutes of Googling can find these guys out, you as the insurance company are probably it's just like, what is it, TQL or C.H. Robinson in the Supreme Court right now with this liability case where so I think that coverage of like, oh, we didn't know, we followed the rules. No, bullshit. This is all out the window now because these guys, like, there are very sophisticated ones out there for sure, but the ones that are really sloppy and they're just using the same name, the same address, the same telephone number over and over again. Like if I can search up a company and notice, hey, this is now their 7th MC in the last 5 years, why the hell isn't the insurance company doing their due diligence and figuring this out too? And so my next step right now
is because And Justin, not to interrupt you, but the big deal is that insurance doesn't understand. You talk to your average insurance agent, okay, unless the only thing they do is trucking. If that's the only thing they do, they may have a clue, but that is it. Most of these insurance brokers, all they want to do is they want to sell a policy. They don't care what industry, they don't care who they sell it to. They don't care if it's actually the policy that they need.
You also have a lot of fraudulent insurance companies. You've got these guys coming over from Somalia, for instance, and one guy starts the trucking company, one guy starts the insurance company, one guy starts a mechanic shop, one guy starts driver recruiting, and they all work together.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, it sucks too, because when one of these guys gets into an accident, there's nothing for the attorneys to go after. Like,
it's like your video the other night with that Amazon relay load.
Yep. Yeah.
The truck is wrecked, and the guy is filming them literally peeling the MC number off the side of the truck, and there's another MC number underneath it.
Right.
Matt Leffler
wrong?
screeches.
I did that this morning. Is that
Was
wrong?
Was I not supposed to do that? Was that wrong?
Sorry about that.
I'm gonna plead total ignorance here.
Hey, ultimately, with Duffy, whatever, is this just a classic overreaction to all the uproar that's been in the trucking industry in it? And it will find the middle ground, like non-domiciled.
I don't think so.
I think Duffy is in an unenviable position where this stuff should have been fixed 20 years ago. And they're playing catch
that's
up.
what I'm saying. Is this going to the extreme? That
Yes,
I'm
I think they are
very fast.
Not extreme enough, in my opinion.
Well,
if I was Duffy, if I was Duffy, see, Duffy's going after the drivers, and I'm like, okay, obviously got to do that. If I was DOT Transportation Secretary, my rule would be, you get like 3 strikes. If you are a carrier and you have a driver who gets an ELP violation, your authority is revoked until you go through and get every one of your guys re-cleared to pass an ELP exam. If you're caught again, or if your driver is pulled over at an ICE checkpoint at a weigh station and they're here illegally, your operating authority is revoked, your equipment is seized and auctioned off. That is the only way this stuff gets stopped.
I brought this up at that conference with John. Sorry, I left you out the first time. John and Dale's thing with, I asked Derek Bars because there was a video on FreightX I saw. A lady driver was sideswiped by a guy, and initially he refused to stop.
Right.
Like, he just kept driving.
Yeah. That's
then she chased him down, and they got out of the trucks, and he's trying to offer her cash, and she's like, "No, dude." And the cops get there. It's in Indiana. The cops get there, and it turns out this guy's already had an ELP violation. He was placed out of service. His authority here, his CDL was suspended, and he's still driving on a suspended CDL.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like,
she used to
and
go
I asked
by
Derek.
Yeah, sorry. She used to go by Gear Grinding Hyena. Now she's using a real name. That was like an insane
Derek,
case.
I said, why can you not seize their assets on the road immediately? And he said, we don't have the legislation in place.
Bullshit.
That's
bullshit.
Correct.
Imminent hazard.
No, that
imminent hazard.
Imminent hazard still has to be proven through a court of law, and that has not been tested, and that's where it becomes an issue when it comes to the legislative side. And the seizing assets is not something that's anywhere in FMCSA's charter. Nowhere is that in there.
I'm not talking about a state trooper on the ground seizing the asset. Like, I'll give you an example. The Hope Trans LLC wreck. They had this carrier by the balls. These were a fraudulent carrier. They had the whole system set up where the drivers could text dispatch, "I need coffee," have their hours reset. Instead of nuking that carrier on the spot, which they have the authority to do, they gave them a warning letter and gave them 60 days to clean up their act. And instead, the owners fled the country.
That I agree with. That I agree with. If you're talking about going after the authority, absolutely, FMCSA has that power, and I agree with you. Bars needs to step up and use that power.
But going after the authority, I mean, there's fraudulent brokers out there, right? They're still moving freight.
That's exactly the point. You have somebody who loses their authority. They just change the number on the side of their truck and they keep on going and hope they don't get caught. And if they do get caught, they get put out of service. As soon as the cop pulls away, they get right back on the road and they keep at it again. So
it's going to be it's an ongoing problem, and it's going to be and I think
it's the tactical fight that needs to be addressed.
The FMCSA is so far behind the ball because even if they do, like, say they wave a magic wand and they fix all of this right now, these guys are already 5 steps ahead because the new pattern I'm seeing now is they set up Telegram group. Like, they don't even go through load boards or anything now. They already have the freight, and they're just dispatching the freight back and forth to each other on Telegram and then paying each other through Zelle. The government is so far behind the tools of what these guys are doing.
If I'm going to hurt feelings here with some people, I'm sure, but up to this point, in my opinion, FMCSA has been completely incompetent, and DOT's right there with them. I think Duffy and Bars are a breath of fresh air and a step in the right direction, but they are drinking from a fire hydrant, not even a fire hose. Yeah. They are so far behind the 8 ball that I don't know if they can get it fixed in one administration. I think you're talking 3 or 4.
And that's why I'm not a fan of them using, and I get why Trump has to do it. They're using executive authority, executive orders to pass all this stuff. I'm not a big. I like that they're doing that because they got to do something, but because they're executive orders, whoever comes next can just wave another pen and undo all of this.
But there are currently, I want to say it's 14 different acts of legislation on the House floor right now.
Yeah, but they're just sitting there because our Congress works against us.
You're not wrong.
They can't get along.
The point needs to be that stuff needs to get pushed through, and a lot of the legislation that involves trucking is actually bipartisan. So there's a huge labor component into that, which definitely ties into the left, that the left should be very happy about, and that has been a huge problem right now. Why I think a lot of it is they're being tabled within committee. And that stuff needs to come off the table and get out onto the floor. Once you see that, then you'll start seeing these things get through. But I don't know what it's going to take.
That's a rabbit hole we're never going to get out of.
It gets real insidious, too, when you look at like the specific laws. So like the big one right now is H.R. 5688, the Non-Domiciled CDL Integrity Act. Like, as a layperson looking at it, you're like, all right, yeah, so that sounds good. But like when you look at, paragraph, I can't see the text. I think it's like paragraph B, subsection 2 or whatever. There's like a giant paragraph. It's just like, per the discretion of the DOT Secretary of Transportation, none of this applies and just can go out the window. And that's where you get guys like ATU and et cetera, like losing their mind saying this is a giant loophole that is just going to get us right back to where we started. So I agree with them as far as scrapping the entire non-domicile thing. Like if somebody is here living in the country, they are not non-domiciled. They are domiciled somewhere. So this idea of using non-domiciled CDLs as like a backdoor to get guys here on asylum claims driving a truck as quickly as possible, that pipeline needs to get shut down immediately. Like end it. Just absolutely end it.
During the Biden administration, they were handing out grants for trucks.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's grants for starting a trucking company, grants for starting a CDL school. It's a whole different pipeline. But I don't think when you look at the people who are sponsoring the bill or co-sponsoring it, every single one of them is bought and paid by the ATA. ATA has their fingerprints all over this thing. Yeah. And for me personally, the battle is won when the average American regards the ATA exactly how they regard the tobacco lobby. Like every single time there is a truck accident or trucking is in the news, you have Chris Spear or somebody from the ATA on cable news giving their little spiel, and I want the gut reaction of every American watching that to go, ew. Like, I know exactly what these guys are up to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hey, Spencer, sorry, J Mart, I was laughing earlier while you were talking, but somebody made a comment. Spencer, where's your facial hair? You're the only dude. You're the only dude on camera that has nothing.
I know. Well, I've got some stubble.
I'll loan
I
you
got some stubble. I've got that sexy man look stubble right now going
on. My beard can't even fit into the frame now. Jesus, this is the longest it's ever been.
But you talk about all this fraud. So I saw on the news this morning that there's some spotlights right now being put on the state of California because of the homeless and all the healthcare stuff, and it was a whole list of things that they're starting to look at in California of some internal fraud and with the government and some things that are being done are not really kosher. So, this thing runs deep. It's not just trucking. This thing runs deep as far as the fraud levels. And I think that, Duffy and those guys, I think they're starting from the ground, from the bottom, going to the top, starting out with the drivers, start at the bottom, work your way to the top. Hopefully they'll get to these insurance companies and all these players at the top that are involved with this. Or who's to say that they're not? They're just being strategic, Sun Tzu, Art of War shit, and they're not divulging all that stuff yet. They may already know who the players are. They're just not going to bring it out yet.
I'm going to be in D.C. next week at the Road Gang fraternity luncheon. It's just like this big meetup there. It happens every couple of months. And it's actually how Sean Duffy ended up on What the Truck last year. He was there. Rob Carpenter talked to him for a bit. And Duffy asked Rob if he could interview him. And Rob was like, I don't have my own show, but my buddy Dooner, he's got one. You should go talk to him. So Rob was the one who told me about this group. And it's like shockingly affordable. $80. You just go there, have lunch, and you're talking to like a bunch of bigwigs in supply chain. Yeah. So I want to go there, talk to some people there and see what they know, and maybe blow some minds with some of the fraud that we're uncovering, because I don't think enough people really have a holistic picture of like what's happening. Like everything right now is like Somalian daycares and this and that, but Danielle and I are really trying to sound the alarm on DoD freight right now. We had some stuff dropped on our lap yesterday, and it's just, I've been hearing rumors about this stuff for years and chose to ignore it because I hold DoD freight for a couple of years, and I knew all the bullshit I had to go through to get through all that stuff. But we're talking guys who can't pass a security clearance, so they go on Facebook and say, "Hey, I have a load to Crane, Indiana. Can somebody come deliver this for me?" Like, are you out of your goddamn mind? Like, no.
Yeah.
Turn in your CDL, sir. Like, it just, and trucking companies that were paid for 90 loads within a 90-day period, but when you check on gen logs, they show zero activity whatsoever.
Right.
That kind of stuff. So we're digging through all of it right now. We're gonna have more information in the coming days.
Yeah,
I need to talk to you offline about something like that, because I just discovered something 2 days ago that I ship explosives, and so I'm held to some really high standards, and I found out that there are carriers out there that are not even qualified or certified to move explosives.
Oh, you
mean all the rules?
You're dealing with one of these?
That big old book right there, yes, sir. And I'm not even doing government boomers. Most of what I ship is fireworks, but because of what they are, they're held to the same standards.
Oh yeah. Explosives.
I mean, it's literally 1.3 G is basically a bomb.
Yeah.
Because you've got, I've got 40,000 pounds of fireworks on there. How much black powder is in that?
Yep.
12,000 pounds.
1.3. Those are some good fireworks. Usually it's 1.4.
So I ship 1.1 fireworks for people. I ship stuff that goes like the big shows you see. I do some of that stuff cross country, and that only moves on Landstar assets. That does not move on brokers by company policy, and I'm pretty sure by law. I don't know any broker that brokers that stuff out. They're crazy if they do.
They do, because you are supposed to be an asset-based carrier if you're hauling DoD freight, and what we're seeing is a lot of these guys, just like with the post office, at least with I can defend what they're trying to do with the post office because they're using these brokers because it's cheaper, but that's not even happening with DoD freight. They're getting bids on runs that are paying like 4 to 5 times the average rate for a lane. So, San Antonio, Texas to Oklahoma somewhere normally pays $1,500, and we have photocopies of BOLs that are like $5,200.
Yep.
For a run like that, like just somebody's on the cut.
I don't know how freight brokers ever got involved in moving military and government freight. That just blows my mind.
It's
You shouldn't.
Yeah, no, it needs to be a contract model where you have an established quality carrier with like proven patterns of behavior and stellar safety records. Like those are the only ones that should be allowed access to this kind of freight. And the idea that instead of vetting a carrier, we're just going to go with a broker and then leave that up to the broker to decide which carrier to pick. Of course, this stuff's going to get overrun with fraud immediately.
That's nuts, man.
I'm sorry,
See, I
Loostover. I've got a little more than you do, buddy.
John, you know Lou? He's something else.
Loostover's a very good friend of
insurance.
mine. I've worked with him in Savannah for about 15 years.
God, it's a
he's
small
great guy.
world.
It moved from the top down to the bottom.
Do you guys do anything with Travelers Insurance?
Not me personally.
No,
So
I've
They insure my car.
Well, I went to the North Carolina League of Transportation Logistics here in North Carolina. There's a couple of groups. You got the NCTA, and then you got the NCLTL. But and Travelers was the headlining presenter, and it was their fraud department, and they actually are the only insurance company that has a complete, very sophisticated fraud department. And they have dummy trucks that'll go out to set these bad actors up on purpose to catch them. They're the only ones that do this. But they shared some data. I don't know if I still have it or not, but it was from, this was just last year, but they had some pretty crazy data of the fraud and the theft and everything that goes on in trucking. It would blow your mind. So if you have a way to
Get
get
me in touch with those guys.
Travelers,
Yeah, because
I may still have the guy's card that's over all that. They're ex-law enforcement guys.
Yeah,
God
I
almighty,
would
man.
love to talk.
Think of
Yeah.
the amount of money they're saving themselves by having that department.
Oh yeah.
See, even with all of that, I can go on Instagram, look up what's his name, Pistola88, the wrecker out of Los Angeles, and he's just snatching Amazon trucks left, right, and center. And a lot of those guys have travelers insurance. So even with all what they're doing, they're just like everyone else. They have a bunch of chameleon carriers in the network and I don't know if it's because they just don't know what to look for or it's a big blind spot for them. But even a company like Travelers is not immune to this stuff.
No. No. But it was pretty interesting, the stuff that they were telling everyone, and the data they were showing, and kind of the steps that they go through to catch folks. They were like giving an example. You got a truck coming in to pick up a load, but it was a broker that was that's kind of mining all these load boards and stuff, I guess, and they're grabbing these loads, and they'll dispatch their buddy, and they'll show up, and then but like Travelers would have these I guess I don't know how they figure out that it's fraudulent, people doing this, but the guy will come in to pick up the load, and they'll say, hey, well, your freight's not really ready, and they'll send the truck over, and then they'll send another truck in to pick up the load and go, and it's gone. Like it's already being shipped overseas, but it's just pretty slick how these guys are doing this stuff.
Here's a freebie for Travelers or anyone else in insurance land listening to this. If you have a carrier that has a policy with you guys, and say they have 3 trucks under their policy, but they show 17 trucks with inspections, cancel their policy. They're fraudsters. Or if you've got the money to pay for like a GenLaw subscription, you want to verify this visually. I'll have cases where I look up a truck that's got, or a carrier that's got 1 or 2 trucks, but we see 17 license plates on GenLog's data. So yeah, there are much easier ways to I love that they're doing like the cloak and dagger stuff too, but with a laptop in 5 minutes of searching, you can sniff these guys out no problem.
Oh yeah.
But Justin, you and I, we know what we're looking for. We know what to search to be able to get to connect the dots very quickly. Where a lot of these guys, I just don't have the time. Phone rings, they completely forget about whatever it is they're looking up, and it just goes by the wayside. There's a level of apathy that exists in this industry that has gotten us to where it is. I get it.
That's a great point. I gotta constantly remind myself that.
DOT and FMCSA, their hands behind their backs and their legs because they lack the authority to do a lot of the stuff they need to do, and they lack the knowledge to do a lot of what they need to do. Derek Bars is the first qualified person to run the FMCSA in its existence. So, I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. Breath of fresh air. I have high hopes for what this guy can do. But you know, Adam, you said it yourself. It's going to take 4 administrations or so for this to really be able to amount to something, and that is just the way that it works out.
If they don't give Bars the teeth to do the job he needs to do, we're just going to remain behind the 8 ball. They've got to give him autonomy, and they've got to give him the authority to do what needs to be done.
He's using what teeth he currently has. I mean, they just imposed or they just blocked, what is it, $180 million in funding to California over the CDL schools and how they issue CDLs, much like what they did in Minnesota. So, I mean, they're trying to do something, which is more than they have done. But it's still going to be up to the industry. It's going to be up to the private people in this industry like us to be able to step up, call attention to it, and get these guys pushed out. And, of course, it's a cancer. Yeah. Good luck cutting this out. I can tell you right now, as a consultant, I know I will have work for the rest of my lifetime.
I'm amazed, honestly, John, that the insurance companies aren't reaching out to you guys to go teach us what we don't know. Help us find it.
I'm trying to reach out to them, and they don't want to hear it.
I'm talking to USI. The Freight Fraud Task Force, it has USI as a partner, and we are talking with them, and we are working with them to develop educational tools for their customers, which we are ultimately hoping that if you are a USI customer and if you follow these educational tools, it will lead to discounts in your vehicle liability coverage. Yeah. So that is the draw that we're using to try to get insurance companies engaged and then have their customers ask the insurance companies to be engaged.
Yeah. USI Road Dog Coffee.
USI is a good partner, and they've been helping us for the last year on this, and we're working very closely to make that a reality. You saw Jeff commented earlier about his Freight Fraud Summit, and I know USI is heavily involved in that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think the funding is going to have a major impact. The GDP of California is $3.9 trillion. So they're going to get the money from somewhere. 160 million is a literal drop in the bucket.
$3.9 trillion?
Yeah. California.
It's the 4th largest economy on the planet.
Well,
yeah. California's economy is huge.
This all points back to the end user, the consumer. They take it on the chin. They pay more money for insurance. They pay more money for their goods because of all this fraud and all this bullshit. It all points back to all of us. We pay more at the till. And
I think they have not pulled this lever yet, but I think once states end reciprocity with California CDLs, that is what's going to have an impact. Once you start saying, okay, we don't want California trucks or drivers from California on our roads, that's when everyone's going to start scrambling.
I shared your post on LinkedIn about that, and I was like, that is music to my ears. Could you imagine if that happened? How quickly
can you legally do that?
Yeah,
can that be
Arkansas was the first state, as far as I know. Excuse me. They have ended reciprocity with any state that has given a driver's license, not just a CDL, but any state that has issued a driver's license to an undocumented immigrant into the U.S. Arkansas has said if they're in our state, they're going to jail.
Yeah.
If they're in our state driving on our roads, we don't accept that. They're going to jail.
But I think California actually, it's been about a month ago, I guess. I saw it on the news that California was kind of the state that was leading the charge on all this, starting to bring light to the CDL thing. And obviously they had the big spotlight shine on them, but they were like one of the lead states trying to spearhead this up to really combat it.
Yeah, and Danielle and I have been screeching about this for months that it's not just California. Once they finish the audit in other states, they realize, New York has had a bigger number of issues with their non-domiciled CDLs. Well, the reason we knew New York was a hot spot as well as California is New York is the only state that stamps the visa expiration date on the CDL as well as the expiration date of the CDL. So if you are a guy that's here on asylum and your CDL has an expiration date of 2028, but your work visa is only for 2 years, that's illegal. Like you're CDL expiration date cannot exceed the date of your visa. So what a lot of guys were doing was they would come into the U.S., get to states like California, where you could just get a CDL that day, and then they would try to transfer out of state.
Right.
There's this guy, Sid Mahant, in Indiana, owns a bunch of trucking companies down there. He's originally from California, understood that market is oversaturated, moved shop to Indiana. And the problem that he's having is that, unlike other states, Indiana, if you're transferring your CDL out of state into Indiana, you have to retake the CDL knowledge test in English. So he has all these guys that he's trying to bring over from California that don't speak English or read English, and he can't get them to pass the CDL test. So he was running for state Congress in Indiana to try and get a law passed that waived that exam requirement. And fortunately, he just lost completely. And this was even before Trump was reelected. So,
I had
nice try, Sid.
two of the carriers that I used to dispatch for are immigrants from Somalia. They're here on green cards legally. They've got U.S. resident cards, and they're both CDL holders. When I took them on as dispatch clients, that was the first thing I checked. I was like, okay, let's look at your CDL. Let's look at your green card. Let's look at expiration dates. It was done right. It was done by the book. And I give them a lot of credit because they actually did it by the book. I even kind of administered, granted, it's one of the things that they're really trying to push out is the self-certification. So I had to kind of do my own little test. Hey, can you read, understand, and speak English well? I mean, granted, they both have heavy accents, but they both have been in the country for 10 years. So yes, they can read, they can speak, they can write. Accent's heavy. Took me a minute to think through it, to understand what he's saying. Okay, I got it. No, he's got it. He understands. But I had to do all that, and I took all those extra steps because I don't want them in a situation where they're passing through Chicago or something like that, and then get jacked up by ICE.
But how many
I don't want them to become
services are doing that though, John? None.
Yeah.
None.
And you got to think too, when you're talking to
I'm
a
the
law
double broker
enforcement
bounty
officer.
hunter. If I'm going to sit there and I'm going to be talking about fraud and all this stuff, then I better be above board with absolutely everything I do, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I try to make sure that I am in everything.
Pedro, I wish you'd quit talking.
I'm over here working, bro. I'm solving problems.
We've been over here for 40 minutes jaw-jacking, and you hadn't said a word.
You talk about all the fraud.
I'm not going to say names, but I just don't understand how some companies, the size they are, just seem to hire the dumbest people, and
dumb people come cheap.
I've been dealing with sending two appointments for $700,000 worth of fucking crab since Monday. Monday. And my drivers are there, and we're still having problems with this. Still having problems.
Did you just say you got crabs?
He did.
No, that'd be Jake Noble. I have the screenshot to prove it.
He has 700,000
Your
pounds.
driver-
You got a screenshot from the test
I don't
results.
want to see it.
The screen. So yeah, no, I'm over here just.
Oh my God.
And I'm trying to book this load. These loads that I had 3 loads out of Central Mississippi when I booked them. I had a carrier for them. I booked them in December. They all 3 picked up this week, and the dude had something with his truck, and he can't get the part for quite some time. So and these things are in the middle of nowhere. They're 250-mile loads. So they're same day. This guy was going to do 2, try to do 2 in one day and just flip the other one, But bro, this thing, where this comes from, Mississippi, there's no trucks there because all the freight in Mississippi that goes into there is where all the fucking freight comes out of Mississippi. You know what I mean? Could just kind of like Louisiana, you know what I mean? All the freight goes in the north or it goes into to the boot, you know what I mean? So, so it's a freaking struggle, man. I'm paying, $150 over the lane rate. So it's in same day and 10,000 pounds, easy thing, load in an hour, unload in 90 minutes. And
See, people,
dude, it's hard.
Wow.
Drivers think that freight brokers just sit here and stack paper. Dude, they don't understand. I had a load 3 weeks ago that was a nice oversized load I was going to make some money on. I went from making money to losing money because the truck got shut down at the Wyoming-Montana border for high winds. Then the truck broke down the next day and was in the shop for 48 hours. They finally, quote unquote, fixed it. And he leaves out over the weekend, makes it an hour down the road, and the problem reinvigorates. Yeah, reinvigorates itself, and then he has to get towed back to the shop. Meanwhile, we've rescheduled crane appointments 3 times.
Wow.
So do we need to talk about the diesel mechanic play and how much they're raking truckers over the coals?
I want to know how many of those diesel mechanics also have daycare centers.
Well, what you're describing is a really good problem that I keyed in on that a lot years ago, where there is like such a wall between guys in the office and guys out on the truck. And one thing I will give the post office credit for is they have this thing in their contract called 204B, where anyone at any point in time can just be plucked from their job, dropped anywhere, as long as there's an opening temporarily. And it's meant to like train guys who are letter carriers that want to be supervisors eventually down the line. And you could be a 204B for a couple days, a couple years, doesn't matter. But it's a great way to take guys that are driving the trucks every day that are always like, oh, these pricks in the office, they don't know what they're talking about. Pluck that guy out of the truck, put him in the office, see how the sausage is made, and get a better understanding of like all the bullshit on all sides. And I think that really needs to happen with the OTR guys. Like, I don't know how it'll happen, but if you got a guy who's always like, oh, fuck brokers, this, that, go to a brokerage office for a couple days and just see what they have to deal with and understand like we're kind of in this bullshit together, guys. It's not a us versus them mentality. Once you have that mentality, it makes your job so much harder because it's like an antagonistic thing, not a relationship building process.
I knew somehow that J Mart would break in with a post office story. Every podcast I'm on with him.
It's just how my mind works. I'm always linking and like, oh, that's just no, like but so.
Yeah, dude, I 100% agree. I would love if a driver that had a problem could come remote in with me one day and just see the stuff we face and how we go from, oh shit, the freight's not off the ship, but we've got trucks lined up to pick it up. I have one for a customer now that was bonded cargo going to Canada, right? So we have to line up trucks. We line the trucks up. The vessel was supposed to arrive 4 days prior, so there's no reason we can't pick it up, right? Like it should be ready. Nope. Vessel slipped. The union dock workers didn't get the vessel unloaded, so we don't have it transloaded yet. So now here we are. I've had to cancel the trucks. We reschedule them. We get there. One of my guys picks up. The other one, his reload into the United States so that he could turn around and go back to Canada, delays. And so he can't get unloaded. And so now I've got crane appointments in Canada and a very unhappy consignee because I'm picking up the last part of his freight tomorrow, 2 weeks late.
And you got to understand the psychology of what's happening on the ground too, because you as the driver, all these delays or et cetera that's happening is impacting what you're making. And you're dealing on the ground with union dock workers who, if there are any delays, they make more money. So you got a driver who's already pissed off because he's losing money, having to deal with assholes on the ground because they're making more than them. And I dealt with this in Philadelphia at the Packer terminal every fucking day. If you walk in with an attitude, you're talking with guys named Vinny who are cousins with each other that will just throw numbers in your face because they know it pisses you off. If I walk into a place with papers saying, hey, I got to get my can out of the stack, can you go get it? I make $32 an hour. I ain't got to do shit from you. You're not my shop steward. So it's just, and that is why turnover is so insane right now, and that's why nobody wants to go into places like that. You really have to have like insane mental, like a giant psychological shield on you every day just to deal with that bullshit.
Sorry, Josh. The beard to scruff ratio was already over the top. We couldn't bring you on board.
Yeah,
must be this long to join it.
Oh man,
this is getting out of control. I've never had sideburns this long before. It is ridiculous.
Are you gonna donate that to like Locks of Love to some dude that wants a beard or?
God no.
So Josh.
No, I'm hoping enough of this stuff like just stresses the shit out of me, and it goes white, and then I can forget about freight and just put on the Santa suit.
I'll tell you, you got a built-in job every December.
Oh, I don't want to. And no disrespect to those guys, I don't want to be some like mall bum Santa. I want to be like a SEAL Team 6 Santa that's going into like the kids' cancer wards in July, like that kind of stuff.
Jimmy made a depiction of you a few weeks ago on a Tactical Tuesday post. I actually saw that.
Did.
I saw that.
Go check that out, Justin.
No, my parents were in the Air Force with this guy Randy. Randy, he's out of Central Florida. And when Randy was a loadmaster on C-130s, and when he retired, he got this cushy office gig somewhere, and they had a beard growing contest at his job one year, and so he starts growing it out. And everyone's like, "Holy shit, Randy, you look like Santa." And he's like, "Oh, really?" So he talked with his wife, and he's like, "What if I just quit this cushy government job and go be Santa?" And she's like, "Are you insane?" So he went to Colorado, went to the whole Santa school, and 2 years later, his agent.
Wait, they have
Hold
a
on.
Santa school?
You said Santa school.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's like a Santa college
Two
in
steps back
Colorado.
here.
That explains so much. That's why weed
You know
is
what?
legal.
Now
There-
I
so there's-
understand why NORAD's in Colorado. They're
There's like a school there that like certifies you as like a legit like if you have a rubber stamp from these guys, you are like in the eyes of other professional Santas. You're like, oh, this is a Santa who knows his shit. That's your Santa CDL.
Is this for non-domiciled Santas?
No, those are the guys you see at like shopping centers and stuff.
Oh God.
But no, Randy went to this whole program, and 2 years later, he got an agent too. His agent got him a gig in China in Shenzhen as yeah. I'll show you pictures of this guy. He is a legit like you see him, you're like, oh, this is a Santa from like the movies.
I literally just found out my next job. I'm gonna go be an agent for Santas.
I shouldn't be saying this stuff because I'm going to crash the Santa market, and all these guys are going to lose money.
Yeah, they're gonna be all pissed off at you. Hey, Josh posted something. Cigar recommendation for winter. Josh, Long Haul and Black Dog. But I sent you a message. Hit me up at Spencer@RoadDogCoffee.com on email, and let's have a chat about that.
Speaking of
real
cigars
quick.
in the postal service, did mine make it to the post office yet?
Rick posted, where are you guys at? Pedro, where are you at?
I'm in a place, in a building,
What state?
within a state, within a country that borders water. No, I'm in Central Texas. I'm like an hour north of Austin.
John?
I'm in Pensacola, Florida.
Justin?
I'm in Little Lake Harbor, New Jersey.
Joyzy? Adam?
Mm-hmm. Not by
real-
choice.
I'm in the beautiful burg of Jacksonville, Florida.
And
I don't know if you
Mr.
guys,
I am in the great state of Georgia, brother, right below Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Let's
Right.
Ooh, nice.
let's focus on that for a minute, Jimmy. Tell me your feelings about Ole Miss whooping that behind, sir.
Let's just say you got to give it to him. Kirby got out-coached, and Chambliss played out of his mind.
I'm telling you, I didn't get to watch the game because I don't subscribe to a certain level of ESPN, but I was following it on my phone, and I was like, "Oh my God, we just beat Georgia! Holy shit!"
Yeah,
I'm
the
not one of
Hurricanes-
those
The Hurricanes are
fans
going to
that-
destroy Ole Miss tonight.
That is a possibility with that defensive line. That is a possibility.
I
I'm not
have-
one of those
I have
fans.
faith-
brother.
Fast defense, the fastest defense in the country.
I have faith that Chambliss has been sent by God to deliver Ole Miss a victory. All right.
Let me ask your true feeling about this. Does he deserve another year at college football?
You know what?
And don't just say it as a fan. Tell me the truth. This will be like his sixth year if he gets it.
I think he needs to be somewhere other than college, but as an Ole Miss fan, and I've got my buddies like, "Oh, you cheer for Auburn and Ole Miss," but Ole Miss is my family school, right? Like my nephew played baseball for Ole Miss before he went to the majors. All of my family has gone to Ole Miss, so I love Ole Miss with all my heart. To see us finally get that chance, I gotta be honest, man. I want to see Chambliss have one more year, and to see the kind of sportsman he is. He is a masterclass in how college level quarterbacks need to behave and act on and off the field. I have been so impressed with his on-field. You know, when they beat Georgia last week, you didn't see him out there just carrying on, right? He went over and spoke to the Georgia quarterback, helped him stand up, shook his hand, said, "Hey, man, you did an amazing job. There's always next year," right? Like he's talking him through the tears because, you know, for every kid that's going to college, the dream of winning that national title is everything, right? Like that's what you want. So to see him be that class act on the field and off the field has been amazing.
NIL has really got me. NIL really has me torn on if this kid deserves another year. You come out and said, "I've already put my contract in place if they'll give me another year." It just muddies the waters. I mean, COVID gave everybody the extension where they all got extra time. How far are we going to kick this can down the road? Is kind of what I'm getting at.
No, I get it. I get where you're coming from, but I'll be honest. I don't follow sports enough or college sports enough to know where Chambliss came from, right? But if I remember right, wasn't he redshirting at that other college, or was it completely he did 4 years there?
No, one year was complete, did not play redshirt. Yeah. Then he had 2 seasons or 3 seasons where he played and actually won national championship. Now he has played a full season or season and a half, whatever, at Ole Miss. So technically he's played fully for his 4 collegiate years.
Yeah.
So you know that kind of blurs the lines. So I would have to say, hey, you know, you've played your 4 years, but why can we not give people the opportunity to play through a master's degree? I mean, if they stay at the same school, right? You can't transfer to another school to play your other 2 years out. You have to stay at the school where you completed your 4.
Well, there hasn't been mention of it. So, I mean, I honestly don't know the answer to that. I mean, it's a whole nother bag of potatoes, you know. But
well, they need to limit transfers to like 2 transfers. I mean, some of these guys are transferred 3 or 4 times. And I think they'll do that. I think they'll eventually come to something where it's going to limit the amount of transfers a player can.
I never thought I'd see the day that the players wore Nick Saban down and made him retire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
as much as I hate Alabama and Nick Saban as a coach, not a person, he's one of the most amazing people on the planet. But to listen to that man talk about why he left coaching, it's depressing. Like the only thing that he was hearing from the players is, how much are you going to pay me and how much playing time am I going to get?
Well, look at Clemson. Dabo Swinney doesn't believe in the portal. I mean, and look at Clemson. That they've not been the old Clemson, dominant. I mean, they're getting good players, but they're not a dominant team. And Dabo's
those days of dominant teams are over.
Yeah, you know who else is not dominant? Tar Heels.
That's who's going to be dominant here pretty soon. The Tar Heels. We got some badass players coming in next year, brother.
Yeah, but they'll transfer out. Don't worry. They'll go to teams.
Tonight and tomorrow will be good games. I think from the TV aspect, they want to have Miami and Oregon. From the fan aspect, you want to have Ole Miss and Indiana, 2 teams.
Oh, 100%. I'm so tired of seeing Oregon in there. Now, as an Ole Miss
fan,
Miami,
Indiana.
I want to see them go, but I think we have a tough game ahead of us against the Miami Hurricanes.
It's going to be.
They got the fastest defense in the country, so you saw how their defensive ends come off.
It's going to be a slugfest. Let's touch base on the NFL since we got the playoffs coming up. Who do you got for Saturday versus Packers versus Bears?
I have the Falcons, and we still suck, and I want Jim Harbaugh. I want John Harbaugh as the coach.
Yeah, the Falcons are always the Falcons.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Once we're defeated and out, I pretty much don't follow anymore. I will watch the Super Bowl because it's the Super Bowl, but actually caring who gets there, nah, I lost that spirit back in the middle of October.
All right, Spencer, how about you? Packers or Bears?
I'm gonna have to go with. I don't know. I really don't have a dog in that fight, but I'm gonna have to say Packers.
Rick, I don't like you. Get off this channel.
Well, Adam, I'm going to piss you off too because I'm going to say the Bears. And
The Bears
I do
still
that.
suck. The Bears still suck.
And I do that because one of my former dispatch clients was a running back for the Bears back in 2006, 2007.
You dispatched for the
so-
fridge?
No, it wasn't for the fridge. I wish it was. Bush.
Okay, nice.
Reggie Bush. Oh yeah,
No, not Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush did play for the Bears.
I know he did. I'll see if you guys were paying attention.
Oh man,
Michael
what you
Bush.
put in that
Michael
coffee
Bush
over
Jr.
there, Spencer.
All right,
Michael Bush Jr.
Pedro.
He came out of Kentucky.
Pedro, Packers or Bears?
I'm just gonna go Bears because I hate the Packs, man.
Oh, get the fuck. Okay.
Yeah, Pack
All
can't,
right.
can't do it. Can't do it.
Why do you guys hate on the only team that's owned by the fans instead of some rich asshole?
I know. Hunter's an
Hey,
owner,
hey,
you know, so he's
I-
probably
you
mad
know
at
what?
me too.
Adam, I would give you a ton of credit for that. I really do because I can't stand Jeff Lurie for the life of me. But you have no idea how happy I've been over the last 5 years about Philadelphia. Fly, Eagles, fly.
The
This year
only
sucks.
Owner, the only owner I truly love is Mr. Shad Khan here in Jacksonville because he does so much for Jacksonville.
Hmm.
But any of the other ones, like you look at Lamar Hunt. They're taking the Chiefs out of Kansas City, they're moving them to freaking Kansas after 60 years, and it's all about
Oh
money.
wow. Where at in Kansas are they going to go to? Just cross the
They're just
border?
going right over
Kansas
the
City.
river.
Yeah, they're going
That's
to Olathe, I think.
Yeah,
Olathe,
like,
yeah.
they're not like moving far, bro. They're just like literally moving.
but,
as soon as
okay,
you
but
start-
they're-
10 miles
across
down,
the river,
10
but-
miles down the road or something. Yeah. So
Yeah, but they're
But
they're
that's a huge
uprooting them.
FU.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
uprooting
it's
them
history.
from Missouri. The economy of Missouri in that area thrives on the Chiefs.
Mhm.
And they were there when the Chiefs sucked. The fans were there when the Chiefs sucked. The employees were there when the Chiefs
Hey,
sucked.
the same thing happened when in Dallas when they moved the stadium from North Irving to where it is now, bro. Like same thing. Like everything around there, all the restaurants, all the venues, like most of it was dependent on stuff that happened at the stadium. You know what I mean? And once that thing was done, dude, like so many businesses shut down, and it's fucking crazy, man. And
Yeah.
ironically, where the stadium is now, like all of those businesses, they obviously thrive, dude, and everyone's built new things. So
Well,
Yeah.
you see what the teams are doing now. Like they're not just building a stadium anymore. It's like the Braves. The Braves built an entire entertainment complex,
yeah,
and they
And-
own
Oh
it.
yeah.
And they
That's
still
kinda like
won't
how-
pay any players.
yeah, that's kind of how it is
Well-
down in Houston, man. At the NRG area, dude, it's got the stadium, or it's got Reliant Stadium, Reliant Center.
Oh yeah,
like,
so I came down to Houston to go watch Man United play Real Madrid, and that area was impressive, dude. It was something else. All right, J Mark, Packers or Bears?
Go Birds. Go Birds is literally my only football take. I'm not a not a sports guy.
Well, that's it. All right, sports ball, yay! All right,
I'm kind of curious to see what happens with the Panthers.
the only other
We
game I
moved
know
it.
about,
We moved a lot when I was a kid, so I have like zero. Well, until I moved to
Zero.
Philadelphia. Yeah. Yeah, when
The,
I moved to
the only
Philly, that
other
was
game
that was
that-
like ingrained in my skull of just like go Birds, go Birds, go Birds.
the only other game
Ever
I
since
care
the
about
days
this
of Ron
weekend,
Jaworski.
the only other game I care about this weekend is Jags and Bills. Spencer, Jags or Bills?
Oh, my second favorite team behind my first favorite team. I'm going with the Bills.
Oh God, you're.
I'm a
Bills.
Dallas and Bills guy,
All right. Okay,
but I love you,
Jag.
brother.
I see how it is, John.
I mean, Jacksonville's been on a
Jacksonville all the
heater, but
Bro.
Josh Allen he's Josh Allen.
It might be Josh Allen's year, but let's just give T-Law the credit he deserves for taking the Jags where he's taking them.
Oh, he had a great game last weekend.
It's been impressive to watch because for years we're known as the cardiac cats, right? Now I've been a Packers fan for years. I've just picked up the Jags because I live in Jacksonville and I want to support my local teams, but they've been known as the cardiac cats for years because they'll
Well,
do
hell,
good, they'll
look
get
at
on a
the
run,
Panthers.
and then all of a sudden they blow it.
Yeah,
So
look at the Panthers. They're in this playoffs now. The owner of the Panthers has been wanting to move them out of Charlotte for a long time, but yeah, and they'll probably end up leaving eventually, I'm sure. But
why would they leave Charlotte though? It's such a
It's
large
just
metro
it's
area.
been a whole thing with that. There was talk about going down near Carowinds and build half the stadium in South Carolina, half the stadium in North Carolina, like down below Charlotte. Just
Yeah.
and we're talking like 8
It's like-
miles
like
down the
Fort,
road.
Fort Mill area.
Well, yeah, kind of. So yeah, right there at Fort Mill, where Carowinds and all that is, right at the border. So half the stadium will be on each. I guess to get each state involved or whatever, to help pay for it or something. But I think that I don't know where it got shut down. I don't know if it was South Carolina or North Carolina that shut it down or didn't, want to partake in that whole plan. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, and the tune could have been changed if the Panthers, now that they're in the playoffs, if they were to make a run, which I mean, hell, they've been surprising some people this year with some crazy wins. And if they were to make a run and do something significant, I mean, who knows? But I don't know. I mean, it's just been nobody really knows, I guess, with those guys.
Miami just let McDaniel go.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he just got fired.
Oh, all right.
So, breaking news. You heard it here first.
All right, so I'm taking these notes down because we're gonna see next Thursday what happens. I'm gonna go down the list real quick. So Spencer, I got you for the Bills, the Bears, Miami, and Ohio. What do you think, Rams or Panthers?
For me,
Yeah, I'm gonna record this. We're gonna do bragging rights next Thursday to see.
yeah, I mean Panthers. I mean, because I don't follow them that well. They're in my backyard, but I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to go with the Panthers on that.
49ers or Eagles?
Philly.
49ers, man, because I love Christian McCaffrey and I love Purdy, man. He's a great Christian
Niners.
dude, and I don't like the
Rick over
49ers
here.
as a
Hold
team.
on, let me just
but I
stop
like
you.
those
Rick,
guys.
he's just trying to start a fucking fight today on this show.
I'm gonna come through YouTube, and Rick and I are gonna squabble. All right,
I'm gonna tell you what, man.
Rick, we're gonna throw hands, bro. All right,
We're gonna go to the mattresses.
Texans or Steelers, Spencer?
Definitely not the Steelers because I'm a Dallas fan, so definitely the Texans on that.
The Tejans.
I like
all right?
CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud's a great guy, man.
Chargers or Patriots?
Patriots because of Drake May, Carolina Tar Heel, and the leading quarterback in the NFL.
All right, so let's see. So let's just say, because it's going to be the biggest slog fest, I think. Let's say the Packers versus the Bears will be the tiebreaker. What's the score?
I think it's gonna be a
I'll give you a spread
low-scoring
of 3,
game.
but that's the best. It's going to be close.
I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. I'll say maybe 28-14.
28-14 Bears. All right.
No
All right.
Packers.
Oh, you're gonna support the Pack. Okay, my man. Okay, I appreciate that. At least I got one friend here. Golly, the rest of y'all.
That's because we share the same name, right? That's the
Yeah,
only
that's
reason.
right.
That's
That's right. Yeah. All right, John. Bills or Jags?
Oh, Jag.
My man. All right, Packers or Bears? You said the Bears. 49ers or the Eagles?
Philly all the way.
All right, there you go. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah. Go Birds.
All right, you said for the college game, who'd you say? Who's going to be in the national playoff final?
I don't know. I'm holding off on that. I want to stay out of that one.
You
I've
got
Miami,
to
Miami, Indiana. On Miami and Indiana. It's got to be.
All right,
I
Spencer's with Miami and
agree with Indiana. I agree with Indiana. I'm not sure about Miami.
You got to pick one. It's you don't have to say you're supporting it. You just got to pick. This is football picks. Who are we picking?
All right, I'll go with Miami.
Miami and Oregon, Miami and Indiana.
Miami and Indiana.
All right, Miami and Indiana.
Miami and Indiana. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Texans and Steelers.
Steelers.
Steelers, Chargers and Patriots.
Pats.
Let's see. I got all yours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and the tiebreaker, Pack and Bears. Who takes it, and what's the score?
Bears agree. It's a low-scoring game. I'm going to say 10-13.
10-13 for the Bears. All right. Oh, Pedro Peterson.
I'm kind
Bills
of
and Jags.
Jags.
My man, Cardiac
yeah.
Cats. Here we go.
Yeah.
Packers and Bears. You said the Bears just to piss me off.
Yes.
So, college game. Who's going to be in the final?
Dude, I don't really watch college stuff at all. So who's it up against? I mean,
So you got Oregon and Indiana and Miami and Ole Miss.
Miami.
So Miami, and who is Miami going to play in the finals? Oregon or Indiana?
I don't really know. I mean, I know both teams. I'll go with the Ducks. I'll just say the Ducks, right? Like they don't get many shots and stuff, right? Like they're.
Oh, crap.
They've been in the national playoffs like
Dude,
5 times. In
Okay,
the
I
last
don't fucking know. I
years.
don't know. I don't watch. I don't watch.
That's
it.
fine. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You're good. All right. Rams or the Panthers?
Damn. That's a hard. I'll say the Rams. I'll say the Rams.
Rams. All right.
Yeah.
Patriots and Chargers.
Oh, the fucking Chargers. I hate the Pats. Fucking Chargers.
My man. I knew we were friends. Texans and Steelers.
Texans.
Fair enough. All right. Let's see. Eagles and Niners.
Niners.
And the tiebreaker is the Pack and Bears game. What's the score?
Ooh. I don't know. Let's say I don't know. Let's go 28-13. Let's go that. Let's do that.
28-13 for the Bears.
For the Bears, yeah.
Okay.
Somebody misses a field goal, extra point.
It happens, bro. Dude,
Yeah,
it
I know.
happens. You know what I mean? And then the Bears pick it up and they
I
run
kept
it
it
for the
even,
touchdown.
28-14, so
And that's how they
no
get their
field,
28.
not a field goal game.
All right, Jimmy, you're up.
Okay.
Bills and Jags.
Man, Josh Allen, bro. Give me the Bills.
All right, we got the Bills. Bears and Packers. You already said the Bears, right?
Yeah, Bears.
Bears. All right. Rams and the Panthers.
Give me Stafford. Give me the Rams.
Got you for the Rams. Niners and the Eagles.
Whew. I like that Georgia Bulldog defense. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go Birds.
Go Birds. All right. We got the Chargers and the Patriots.
Ugh, I hate them both. I think Drake May is on a heater, bro. Give me the Pats.
Go for the Pats, the Texans and the Steelers.
Hines Ward is my fave, but I think the Texans probably got him. I don't think Aaron Rodgers can do it.
And you almost got kicked off the show, Jimmy, right there, bro. Right there. Just
Just bloop. All right.
Jimmy, oh, man, that
national,
damn Georgia internet.
national title game.
Whew. That Miami defense is something, brother. And I think they're going to pull it out. I think they can do what they need to against Chambliss. So give me Miami and give me Oregon.
The Ducks.
Yeah, I think the moment becomes too big for Signetti and Mendoza.
All right, fair enough. And the tiebreaker, what's the score between the Pack and the Bears?
27-21. Who did I pick? The Bears?
Yep.
Yep, 27-21 Bears.
All right. J Mart, are you going to participate in this since you don't like sports ball?
Go Birds. Go Phils.
All right, so we'll leave J Mart out of this one. So I'm going to say, of course, the Jags because, forget the Bills. Go Pack, go. My team for years.
It would have been kind of cool to do a Road Dog Coffee podcast tonight, watching the games, all of us on there live.
Hey, you know what? Who said you can't do that? I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I'm gonna say the Panthers. I hate the Patriots, so go Chargers. And I'll support the Texans because the Steelers suck. And I'm gonna be the standout. I'm gonna say Ole Miss pulls it out against Miami, and I think that Indiana cannot top Oregon. So I'm gonna say Ole Miss and Oregon. And then for the tiebreaker, I'm going to say as well, it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm saying 17-14 with a last-minute field goal for the Packers. So I got that all recorded down. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll keep the
And
scores.
go to Kalshi.com and put your bids in.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Kalshi.
Listen,
Kalshi.
yep, I'm up to $51 on Kalshi. So
Yeah.
So
There
you
was a
should
guy,
do something,
actually-
Spencer, like during like sports season, like have a way for people to make their predictions, like on your Facebook or something, and
Yep.
the person that like gets it right gets like a free bag of coffee or
Yep.
or like an
Something I
ashtray.
thought
Or something.
about.
That'd be a pretty cool little incentive, man. You know what I mean? Kind of do like a little pool thing. You know what I'm saying? Get folks
Well, let's
involved.
talk about it. How can we put that together and get that launched?
I'm just waiting on my package to make it to the post office.
Well,
Oh,
they just fired. They just
I forgot.
fired all their drivers, so you're never going to get that.
yeah.
I do have a package lost up in New York somewhere.
I was on
December
Freight
20th.
Caviar's. I was on Freight Caviar's meme competition thing back in November, and OTR Solutions was nice enough to send everybody hats. Mine didn't get here until like a week and a half ago.
Oh, hey, Dickinson wants to play, so I'm tagging him in place of J
Yeah,
Mark.
he put all this stuff over there in the comments.
Yeah,
He
let's
said
go. Let's see.
Rams-
He said Rams, Bears,
Bills,
Bills,
49ers,
Niners, Chargers, and National
He
is
said college
Indiana.
is Indiana, Ole Miss.
And what's your tiebreaker, Dickinson?
What do you think the score of the game between the Packs and the
be-
Bears is going to be, Jeff? That's the tiebreaker. And then we'll start to wind it down on that because I'm to the point now where I need to focus so I can get onto my prospecting.
Same. I need to do some work.
Yeah, I've got to go to lunch and
Wait for old Jeff. Well, while we're waiting on
I'll
that,
call him.
while we're waiting on that, we'll do final comments. And well, before that, Spencer, just so you know, my son, I don't know, about a week or so ago, I think it was around New Year's, yes, that he finally smoked those cigars that that you gave me. He smoked with a buddy of his, and he said they both absolutely loved them. I believe my son smoked them. No, his buddy smoked the Maduro, and he smoked.
long
Can't
haul.
remember the other one you gave me.
The Corojo wrapper.
Yeah, I think so. You gave me like one light one, and then you gave me
Yeah.
the Maduro. I know that.
You smoked the Maduro, and the U.S. government smoked the Maduro. That's pretty cool.
Well, just so everybody knows, okay, and it's going to go on the website once we get this payment thing figured out. So the cigars are 8-year aged tobacco. They come from the region of the Dominican Republic called the Val del Ciabo, or however you say it. It's the one of the most desirable places in the world for tobacco because of the topsoil. And all of the cigars are made from first gin Cuban seed, and their binders are Matafina.
Okay.
So they are true premium cigars. And the Matafina is not the Brazilian cigar, it's actually the Cuban Matafina. So it's
Enter in
Cuban
promo
binder.
code Maduro
Oh.
Libre for 15% off.
So and the long leaf and all the the filler, everything, it's Dominican tobacco all the way through it. The stuff. They're good. I'm telling you. So hopefully we'll get that up next week because we have some issues with the third party payment folks. Oh, you're high risk, tobacco products. So I'm working with Chase Bank on one little thing, and then hopefully we'll have, this thing figured out and rocking and rolling. But real quick right now. So got a little excess inventory. So I've decided through the month of January, Black Dog Coffee, Black Dog Rims / K-Cups, Long Haul, and Expedite. We're doing truck show prices. So if you ever saw us at a truck show, it's $10 a bag, right, for coffee. $10 a bag for those coffees, and that includes your shipping. $10. Go there and load up.
Oh yeah.
At $10.
Do they need
Well,
a
you got
code, they need a
taxes, but
code
that's
or
it.
anything, Spencer, or does it just automatically do it?
It automatically does it. The prices are on there. Go to roaddogcoffee.com. $10.
There you go.
I
And if you don't-
want to sell about 2,000 bags between now and the end of January. How about that? Adam, can you
Right.
help me out with that, brother?
So you said long haul. Oh, look at that.
Expedite, Black Dog, rims, and bag.
Now remind me, which one was the best for cold brew?
Black Dog's a good one for cold brew.
All right, I'm gonna get some Black Dog, and I'm gonna get some long haul. We'll see what happens.
For anything else on there, you could use a special code that Spencer gave us. Lounge 15, and that'll get you 15% off some other stuff there on the website.
Yeah.
John,
Yeah.
what you got? Exiting comments, questions, concerns, updates, plugs.
You're
No one
muted.
can hear you, John.
Good talk, John.
Good talk, John.
Great to hear you,
Appreciate
John.
having you on.
Thanks for sharing.
Appreciate it. Thanks. See you next time,
Yeah.
brother.
No one can hear you. Seriously, nobody. No
You're still
one can
muted.
hear you, John.
Now,
Can't fucking hear you. Why do you keep talking? We're not messing with you, bro. I mean, we are messing with you, but not that part.
Okay, yeah, there we go. I'm on the freight
can't
coach
hear you,
here. I'm on the freight coach here in Fort Lauderdale, and immediately after that, we've got our Freight Fraud Task Force TikTok Diner show coming up. That's noon Eastern for that. So check me out. I'm going to be on here most of the day.
Let's go, bro. Hell
Lord.
yeah. Mr. Truckett,
yes, sir.
what you got for us there, buddy boy?
Man, I got invited to join the Drayage Junkies family, so check me out, weekly podcast. And with those guys, we're talking about imports and exports and all the craziness in the ports and the fees and just the madness. If you're a truck driver out there, independent owner, operator, small fleet, I'm an advocate for you guys. AccuBid Pro, check it out. Figure out all your operating costs. Learn how to bid your own lanes of freight and keep it moving. Be more profitable with AccuBid Pro. Spencer, great seeing you again, brother. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
Heck yeah. With the real Mr. Spencer, please stand up.
I don't feel like standing right now, but I don't have a website to pimp out yet, but we'll see if that happening here soon. But thanks for letting me join this morning. So long from the Freight Coast. Hope you guys enjoy your rest of your week and have a good weekend and be safe.
Adam,
The Freight
shoot me a
Fraud Task
text.
Force website is now up. It went up yesterday.
You had your time.
wow,
you had your
good.
moment, John.
Yeah,
John,
I can't
had
hear you.
We
I
can't hear you,
can't hear
John. We can't hear you.
Yeah. Adam, shoot
Yeah.
me a text on the cigars that I need to send you.
Okay.
Because you want
I
the
don't know what
cigars
they
too,
are.
right?
Yeah, just throw some in there. I don't know. Surprise me.
Okay.
Good. He doesn't care, bro. Mr. Justin Martin, what you got for us, man?
Yeah, 2026 is going to be a great year for trucking, I think. It's hard to know exactly concretely like what's going to be happening in the next few months, but I think today or tomorrow is when the Supreme Court's going to decide one way or the other with this C.H. Robinson case. But I am seeing so many cool tools, groups, etc., coming online to try and fix what they can. I'm extremely bullish for the industry going forward. I started my own LLC last month, Shady Freight. What I'm doing with it yet, I don't know. I'm still figuring this out as I go.
Did you
Hoping
just
to get in
say
some
shitty freight?
Shady Freight. Shady Freight.
Oh. I was like, wait a second. Like, is this a play on South
Shade.
Park or what?
Shade. Well, it's a common freight. Like everyone knows this. Shady carriers, shady brokers. Sorry, I just popped in a velo, so I'm like super chatty right now.
Well,
That's right. Well, Justin, hey, I appreciate you coming on, dude. You said mornings are pretty good, so I'll include you on the little link, man. Like we're building a little kind of morning crew here, and this is all it is, bro. It's it's not like the lounge. This is Spencer's show, and he just likes to have coffee and us just kind of talk about the topics that are like running the day. So you always got some great
we'll
fucking
have
input, dude.
like guests on with specific things at times here and there, but it's everything's kind of just mindless banter. It's just caffeine, trucking, and everything else. There's no set agenda.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because that's what we like to do is just chat.
That's it. It's all Spencer loves to do is fucking chat. I miss Sean here today, bro. God. Man, we need to get Sean on this show, dude. People have got to see you two in action. That shit is that is a fucking dynamic that is definitely something to behold, isn't there? I don't know if Jimmy saw it. Jimmy saw some of it at the Atlanta, man. No.
I saw it firsthand.
In Talamo, yeah, maybe we'll have a reality show one day around that. Maybe.
You two could, bro. You two are something fucking else, man. All right. For me, all I got is tune into the lounge, Logistics Lounge, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central, 5 Eastern. We have the one, the only Mr. Gord McGill coming on the show. we're going to lead everything out talking about his book. But if you know Gord, we'll probably talk about 15 other things along the way as well. Always a good time with him. Can't wait to chop it up with him and everything. So, yeah, come watch us then tomorrow. And otherwise, everybody just have a great Thursday.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Justin, I'm with you, dude. I have not said this in the past several years because I just haven't believed it. But I'm bullish on 2026 too, man. I really think that this year is going to be a really good year for our industry. You know, I don't think it's going to bounce back completely, but a lot of things have shifted. A lot of changes have been made and are coming.
A lot of positive,
and
yep.
yeah, and all for the betterment of the industry. And I'm seeing it on the boards, man. Like I'm seeing rates go up. As much as I hate capacity being a fucking issue right now, like let's all be honest, we all know that it's for the better. Like it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, we are overwhelmed.
Capacity crunch is on.
Yes, we are overwhelmed with carriers. You know what I mean? And just as my boss says to me all the time, not all freight is good freight, man. Not all carriers are good carriers, and we just don't need some of them. So that's just where it is. But we're gonna be out of here. Have a good one. We'll see you next Thursday. Road Dog Coffee Podcast. Appreciate you joining us. With that, we are out. Deuces.
All right. Good
Hold
show.
on.
We're still live.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I don't know what's going on with this thing today.
Press the button.